Hey guys, Crypto Wally here, back with another video, and today I want to go over market psychology and kind of understanding different parts of the market and how it works, and trying to understand to control your emotions during some times when it does get volatile or it does get goes up or down a lot. So I've been in this market for about 3.5 years. I kind of understand how the markets work now after honestly losing tens of thousands of dollars. And that's fine, but I've made more money by kind of being less emotional in these markets. And I want to kind of go over a couple things where it shows you where I think we're personally right in this stage of the cycle, and which leads me to believe, because it's always the disbelief stage, oh, we're not going to go to the new all-time highs. But I think that if all these levels play out, I think something along the lines could go like this. And again, it's not a price prediction, but at the same time, I think we could be like something like that, where we come and take a stab back at the cycle high, somewhere right around here. And then it'll just be a slow grind up, and you won't even know it. That's the thing. Right now, it doesn't feel like it, but I think this big dip is making a lot of people scared because it feels like we're hanging on the edge where we could drop back down. But understanding market psychology is really, really important to make some good money in long and short term gains. But personally, I'm a long term holder, so I'm not too worried about the up and down price swings. I'm more interested in every year, every 6 months kind of swings. But as you can see, you see the main old market cycle came up here to like 1,200 bucks roughly, and then came down to $168. And this is right here is where it definitely capitalized. A lot of people capitulated right here, and it's very important because there's big money that's actually being bought up right in here, and a lot of money actually being bought up right here. You can't really see the volume at the time, but it's the same kind of thing. So it's also same right here. A lot of people sold, but at the same time, look at the volume. It's starting to go up. That means more money is coming into the cycle. And even right here, when it did dip down, it didn't really go all the way down, but it took a stab back down, which is scaring a lot of people. And a lot of people I knew that actually sold money down at the bottom at this. And that's really important to not even do that, because if anything, you got to be less emotional. Like a lot of people I know, they sell down here and then they end up buying back up here when it starts rallying again. And that's not the way you want to do it, because you're going to end up losing money. And so you got to understand how market cycles work. So with this right here, what I do is I buy here. If anything, I would sell here. So that's the difference between me and you. But I've been in this for a little longer, and whoever's new to this market, it's awesome. Really happy you guys are getting into this. But I've been here for a while, so I kind of understand how things work. And I sort of know the trajectory that we're going with all the different coins in the next couple years. There's a really big investors that are about to come into the market. Regulations are right on the horizon. So we're just needing some sort of catalyst that will start bringing this up. Maybe regulations will never come because the regulations are already here and we don't know it and we're just waiting for it, but maybe they never do come and it just keeps going, and it's going to shake people out along the way. Look at these big spikes. It doesn't look like a lot, but it goes from, say, if it was going to go to 25,000 and then go all the way back down to 16,000. That's a 9,000% or $9,000 decrease in price, which is a big fluctuation swing. But look, it keeps going up and swings down, goes up, swings down. Same with here. So we go back to the beginning. It's the same thing. It comes down, and it'll come up and make our cycle high right here after the big dip that a lot of people sold at. Another big thing too is then we're kind of, I think we're in this stage, so we're gonna come up and like strike up towards this cycle high, and also then come back down, retest as support, and then just slowly grind our way up. So I think we're gonna get to this stage where it's gonna be a nice slow grind. But then look at this. You get one stab at the all-time high. It's gonna be instant rejection and then come back up and then retest again, maybe a rejection, and then slowly grind its way back up and then start going parabolic again. And that's the point where you're not even gonna know what's gonna happen. But one thing I really like is that there's a blog I read. It's by Galgatron. I suggest you to go follow him on Instagram. But I have his. Let's find it right here. This is. I'm getting a lot of people hitting me up because they're upset about the price. Time to dig this one out again. So this is pretty good. I read this today and I really like it. So like a lot of people too in the XRP community, are you fed up of seemingly defying all logic? Great news equals nothing. So that's the thing. A lot of people want instant gratification, but in these markets, the way you have to work is you have to actually, the only way you can beat the whales is to just hold out the longest. But their goal is to shake you out and accumulate as much as they can during the downtrend. And once the time is right, they will let the markets go. But once they start feeling that people are not selling their bags and they're buying more, that's when the market sentiment will switch, and then instantly it will go up really, really high. So the average investor, they're playing with a relatively small amount of money, maybe 20 to 10K, but it seems like a lot to them. Obviously it is, because you worked really hard to get that money. So, but some people, they have compulsive tendencies, which leads them to risky trading. So when you see the market go up really, really high, you get all excited and you want to buy more, and then it drops and you lose price, and it goes down and down and down, and you want to sell to stop your trade loss. But for me, I'm not instant gratification. I'm waiting for long-term institutional money to come in and really have this market mature where you can make some good money. But they have little experience trading. And one thing I would really suggest, if you don't have any experience trading, my best thing to do is just to hold long term. That's the best thing you can do. That's the best ROI year after year if you do that instead of trading. Because I've used to trade and I can make a lot of money, but then you can lose a lot of money. And I do little small trades, smaller than I can afford to lose. So that's the biggest thing, is you want to make sure that you're able to be okay with losing the little money that you have. So you can't be emotional during those times. When I see big red days, what I do is I buy. But when most people see big red days, they get scared because they see their money going down. But the thing about it is, if you really believe in the long-term goal of whatever coin you hold, personally I'm talking about XRP, is that if you believe that there's going to be a higher price in XRP, why would you sell? Obviously you see your money going down now, but when the dip goes down, keep buying, because you're buying more value because you're buying more coins. Obviously value and price hasn't met up yet, but that's a lot of people I see. I see a lot of people on Twitter saying they're super impatient and they post, oh, I'm going to liquidate, I'm going to go to somewhere else because they're all pumping. But that's the thing about XRP. XRP is one of the laggards. But when it does capitulate a lot of people at the very end of the cycle, it goes down while other coins go up and makes people want to leave the boat. But then once they leave boat, then the ship leaves. And it's too quick for anybody to get back in. And then they're going to have multiple regrets. They're going to be angry. There's going to be so many things. So obviously a lot of people are swayed by FOMO or FUD. Media plays a lot of big things, but again, with understanding market psychology, some of these people, maybe the whales or whoever, they have big money and they can pay someone $500 or $1,000 to write a good or bad article to make it seem there's good sentiment, to make the price go up or down. So you have to understand that sometimes not a lot of price, it moves up or down with good news. But with XRP, it's a different animal, because there's so many whales that want to keep the price down because they know how valuable it is. And I'm a long-term believer that it's going to be really, really big in the future. Excuse me. But most people don't understand like values like volume, market cap, order book, walls. And so that's one big thing, is the volume. So when you even go back here, just on Bitcoin, look at this. Ever since the all-time high, our volume is superseding the all-time high. So look at that. So volume is starting to increase a lot, and it's almost double or triple what we had. Like even this one is almost triple or quadruple of the all-time high volume back in December 2020. I was honestly like, this is where I bought Bitcoin, right here. And honestly, at the time, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just buying it and it was going up because I had no idea. I didn't know what the top was. I didn't know any thing like that. But then the whole bear market, I learned a lot. And I've done a lot of research, a lot of investing. I personally don't invest in Bitcoin, but the reason why I talk about Bitcoin is because it is still the lead of the cycle. And I have no problem saying that Bitcoin can go to a couple $100,000 a coin. My personal thing is I think it could go to $300,000, and that's all speculation, and obviously what's going on with all the monetary policies around the globe. I see it could get there. But the other challenges I believe too is that the reason why I'm not a Bitcoin holder is because when I was buying right here, I bought here and I was selling here just because I already quadrupled my money. But the same thing is when I sold here, I did not even have confirmation for over 24 hours. And so I was sitting there not knowing where my money was, what price I sold it at, because the whole network was getting congested. And that's when I believe when XRP went into a really big price accumulation right here, where it went into a really, really big spike up because people put their money in Bitcoin, they put their money in Ethereum, they both got clogged up. But XRP has no problem. It had almost a 70,000% gain just in 2017. If you had $200 down here, right here worth, you would have over $200,000 right here. So yeah, there's a long, big drag down in the cycles, but once they pop up, they go. Long, big drag down, and then once they go, they pop up quick. So don't be surprised when XRP pulls a move like this, because big things are going to happen in the future. And you just have to understand there's all the good news, and this is the one thing that makes me believe that XRP is going to be very valuable, is there's so many good positive news coming out every day with XRP. Back in 2017, there was barely any news. It was just called the banker's coin. But then I bought my first XRP at like $1. Right here, $1.10. It's where I bought my first XRP. So if you think you're bad at buying at 20 cents, you're wrong. I've been buying this whole way down. So that's the thing. Keep accumulating regardless of what happens. And then when it goes up, it's going to go up. For me, I'm a long-term believer, but that's the thing, is XRP is one of those coins that have good news, and the price does not affect. And then there'll be one little news that's even not that big, and you think it's just a normal piece of news. The sentiment is going to switch, and it's going to go up. And that's strictly going to be from the whales. So you have to understand, there's experienced investors, the average investor, which is you and I, and then there's the whales. And the whales, there are three types of whales that Galvatron says. There's benevolent, they act in ways that benefit everyone. The long-term stakeholder holds a lot but doesn't actively trade any of it. And then the profiteer, trying to increase their net worth. And they'll mostly try to profiteer on the remainder of this post because they represent critical influence upon a coin's value. So this is the normal whale we get. The greedy, bottomless, ceaseless, satanic greed. They just understand they will keep dumping the price and keep going down. And while people give up their coins, they're buying them for cheaper. So that's the biggest thing you have to watch out for. And there's been times when I've actually sold way back when because the price is going down. But then you end up losing money and then you feel bad and blah, blah, blah. So you just have to understand when the price goes down, just keep buying. If you really believe in the project and don't believe in the short-term gratification, wait for long-term. If you just hold, don't even trade, just hold long-term. And it will be in a couple years' time. Like 3 to 5 years is not a long time to get rich compared to 40 years of working your whole life to retire. So just understand those couple things and don't worry about the price day to day. It's going to go up and it's going to go down. But if you keep looking at it, you're going to want to keep selling. You're going to feel down, this and that. Just buy, hold, forget about it, and just go live your life. Be happy. It's a savings account. But only what you can afford to lose. It's not financial advice, but literally put in what you can afford to lose. If you have bills, you have anything like that, pay those first. Whatever you have to play with, whatever you can afford to lose for 3 to 5 years. Yeah, it may happen sooner than 3 to 5 years, but at least expect. Because I've been in this market for the past 4 years. So 3.5 years. So 4 years is not a long time to get rich. And the best thing to do is they want to drive the price up eventually. Don't think that all whales want to keep dumping the price. The only reason why they dump the price is because they want to keep accumulating as much as they can, cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper until they can't get the price any lower, and it's literally hit a bottom, and then they'll flip the switch. Because think about it, all whales, they do want to make money too, but the best thing to beat a whale is to hold out for a long term. Don't get all angry in the little price swings. Galvatron's been here for a long time. He knows what he's talking about. He understands all these different things about the market and how to do it. There's fake outs, there's propping, there's the whale exit, a lot of good stuff. If you take a look at this, Galvatron, just go follow him on Twitter right here at Galvatron. So he's a really good person to follow. He posts vlogs every week, or blogs. And that's what you need to know about market psychology. Because in the next coming months, when Bitcoin does actually start going to new all-time highs, spiking like this, right now we're in the disbelief stage, I think. And you just have to wait. Keep buying, wait. Because right now, we're sort of in this price range to where this green box represents the kind of price range we're in. This is the most resistance or most bought up region of Bitcoin before we break out. And what are we doing? We're in the most region where most buy and sells are during this whole bear market. And we feel like we've been stuck in here forever. And if you're new, that's awesome. But I'm not saying it's going to go up tomorrow, next week, whatever. But in the long term, I think Bitcoin can start to go up. And the thing about it is when Bitcoin starts getting closer to all-time highs, that's when I'm more confident that XRP is definitely going to start reaching to all-time highs. Because the last time Bitcoin started fiddling around with the $1,200 mark, which was its previous all-time high, this is what happened. So I think we're very, very close from a big run. And don't be surprised when something big happens out of nowhere, because to think about it, all of this happened, this was 90 days, not including this, just the 4 big green candles, these 3 and this one. That was basically 90 days. And this, let's go to bars and pattern. $851 days, roughly. And then at the time, if you didn't know, I guess this was basically the whole bear market. That was 1,150 days. So, like, yes, we could go longer. We could go to, let's say right there, 1158. That leads us to next spring. So, honestly, like, I feel like I believe that it's going to go up soon, but also I do have a very conservative guesstimate to when the market is going to top off. And again, no price predictions, nothing like that, but it could drag down a little more and then do a move like that. And don't be surprised when it's going to go really, really big and really fast. But also, at the same time, it could pull that very soon. You've seen my video. If you watch the previous videos, go check them out, because those are the videos that's kind of showing you where I believe that it could pop off very soon, or I have 2, A and B, where it could pop off very soon, because the previous fractal is kind of repeating the same thing and at the same time. If you really measure it from the top of this, it's a little bit longer, which is another year. And if you can't hold out for another year just to make some life-changing wealth, then I highly suggest you go try something else that can make you money quicker, because sometimes the best things, they take the longest. But at the same time, I'm not worried about getting rich tomorrow. I'm worried about in the next 3 to 5 years what the price of this will be. We're buying right now at 19 cents is if you're buying for the first time and you're just getting into this industry and learning about XRP, you've been buying all right here. Some people have been buying down here and got up here, but then even like I bought right here, and then I bought the whole way down. So really, I haven't even made money, but I'm so confident in that it's going to go up that I'm not even worried about it. Just go live your life if you're really, but there's 2 types of people. The long-term hodlers that don't care about up and down price swings. Anytime the price goes down, just buy more. And then most likely, you're going to be on the better end of the trade. But if you sell while it's going red, if you sell this big red candle right here, then It's not good because you're going to end up losing money, you're going to feel sad, and then you're going to end up buying back up here when the price starts going back up. So you don't want to be that type of person in this kind of market. So I want you to understand the market psychology. So just do your research. This is not financial advice, but understanding market psychology is a really big part of making money in this industry. Their whole goal is to shake you out. So we go back to Bitcoin. Last thing. You see it. Let me zoom in a little more and I'll kind of like play a little screen. You can sort of see that. I'm going to go back here. Going to the all-time high. And seeing all these levels is breaking down. And all these big stab downs, they're to shake you out. But then who's buying them? There's big volume. You see all this volume right here? Big volume. Someone's coming in and scooping up all this money. And they're long-term investors, and they know in the future the price is going to be more. And then, oh, we get back in this range. Oh, we're never going to leave this range. We've been stuck in it forever. And then what happens? Breakout out of nowhere. You don't expect them. We chill. Oh, we're never going to break out this range. Breakout, big stab, up and down. And look at all these big stabs. Like, if you can't handle this and this, you don't deserve that. So I'm just going to leave it off right there. Definitely, like I said, go check out Galgotron. He has really good blogs. He has every question you can have. You can look through here and check it out. He has some really good information. So again, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and again, I'll talk to you soon. Peace out, y'all.